former Indian cricketer Ashok Malhotra. I am also joined by cricket expert Anis Sajan. Ashok, a frustrating start to India's day today. They are on 272 for 3. Given that it will be a shortened day, what should be India's target really right now? KL Rahul is batting on 122.
See, Rika, the fact is ball is new and it's overcast condition. The ball will do a little bit. So the best thing for India will be to bat like Rahul and Mayank did. They consolidate, they bat for an hour without taking undue chances. And if once they play for 1 hour, then they can go for the shots. And I think the target now in Indian team's mind will be to get too close to 450. 450 will put a lot of pressure on the South African team, especially with the pace attack.
Anis, do you now expect the track to spice up a little bit? Yesterday, we probably saw a very flat track on Centurion, a slow start to the test match. At times, there was uneven bounce, but do the nature of the wicket change right now?
That's what they say about Centurion wickets, that on the day 2 and day 3, it picks up the speed, and we believe because of the rain, it will further help. Now the problem, Rika, as I mentioned yesterday, there is rain forecast throughout the day. Even though the sun has come, it's going to play hide and seek. And also there is rain forecast on the last day. So you can say India probably might get 3 and 4 days and probably few overs of today. So they'll have to call the shots, maybe go all out, guns blazing, and think of batting once only, rather than thinking about the second innings.
Ashok, do you concur with that? India have to bat once and bat big in Centurion, given that there is a time constraint now?
There is, but I think, as Anis said, we should bat as long as it's possible. We should try not to bat in the second inning. But looking at the modern day cricket, nobody gives a follow-on nowadays. Because they tend to bat in the second inning and then put a... Because I guess nobody wants to bat in the fourth inning, because the history says that you struggle in the fourth inning if you give them the follow-on and then you go bat in the fourth inning. So nobody wants to bat in the fourth inning. That I don't know why, but there seems to be a fear in the minds of the coaches and the captain. So my thinking is score 450, try to get them out as early as possible, bat for a while, and put them in for the fourth inning. That is going to be the normal mantra in modern days cricket.
It was a great day for India, the day 1 of the test match. KL Rahul having scored a century, Mayank Agarwal scored a half century. But for two men out there in the middle, Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara, two of the senior pros, it wasn't very heartening. In fact, let's talk a little bit about Virat Kohli. And Anis, coming to you, it seems that Virat Kohli now is getting out time and again to, catches behind his off-stump. What really is ailing the Indian captain? And we have a series of graphics now explaining over the last 9 innings how the Indian captain has been getting out.
Rika, we'll have to rewind back to the England series, when during his first series he was found wanting against Anderson, and then in the next series he had made up his mind that he's not going to chase anything outside the off-stump.
That's right.
He will probably have to do the same thing. It's easier said than done. But Virat has done in the past, where he's shown that he's left a lot of balls. And in the beginning of the innings, he does that. But suddenly, after 70, 80 balls, he wants to feel the ball. So if he wants to get that 100, he will have to put his foot down and say, I'm not going to touch anything outside the off-stump. Maybe I'll take 300 balls to score 100 or 350. But if I want to get that 100, I'll have to be patient and not poke or touch the bat. Put my bat outside the off-stump. That's the only way I see at the moment the runs coming for him. Century coming for him.
So those were the graphics on your screen. I would ask my director to bring up those graphics again. And these are the ways in which Virat Kohli got out since the World Test Championship that happened in June this year, followed by the Nottingham Test, the Lord's Test. Is there a trend visible there, Ashok, and something that Virat Kohli now should work on?
I would go with Anis. He seems to be in a rush to go to his 100. He concentrates very hard, and he goes to close to 50 or 50 plus. But then he loses concentration. It's lack of concentration. because I think in his mind he's under pressure for scoring those 100. He gets to his 50 and he wants to quickly get to his 100. I think the best thing for him is speak to somebody like Rahul Dravid, maybe go back to his own videos and look at them and see how he built an inning, and maybe take a leaf out of KL Rahul's innings. He's a patience personified. You've got to be patient. You can't get 100 in a jiffy. So definitely something is missing in his thinking, and I think somewhere in his mind, Rika, he has this target of 100. So he wants to get to it quickly. And that is why if you see all his knocks after 50, he gets out to rash shots. That shows that he is in a hurry to reach those 100s.
Anis, do you think Virat Kohli should also take a leaf out of Sachin Tendulkar's book, how Sachin Tendulkar in fact cut one of his off drives to get that century down under?
I remember that. In fact, I was just about to say that, when he was struggling for runs, he was getting out. And in that third test at Sydney, or rather the fourth test, he had made up his mind that he's not going to touch anything outside the off stump. And that made the difference. And he went on to score a double 100. And Virat has done in the past. It's just about in the mind. He needs to make that mindset. I'm not going to touch, no matter it's a half volley or a short ball. I'm going to leave everything outside the off stump. Probably play my singles and doubles. As I said, let him take 400 balls, get that leaves you 100, and then runs, or rather hundreds will start flowing.
His hundreds have got to start rolling in, and we expect the match to start in a little while from now. Of course, the announcement is awaited. Gentlemen, we'll keep coming back to you as the day progresses.